Hello, everybody. We are back again for episode 26 of Gamers Assemble. Today we're going to be doing our best gaming Judies, our favorite sidekicks, and the people that make the games a little bit easier as we go through them. I am joined today by the lovely Beardy Gamer.
Hello.
And the even lovelier Llama.
Llama. Ooh.
Ah, we didn't nail it that time.
We never
Also
do.
joined by my little orange sidekick right here, who is... There you go.
See, I thought you were talking about me again. I was like, that's rude.
I'm not going to talk about gingers like that.
You're not that orange.
Oh.
The little orange.
Nothing wrong with little orange. But we are back here to talk about all of our favorite gaming sidekicks. To get things started a little bit, you can always find us on Twitch, Spotify, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Gamers Assemble. Feel free to hit us up on there if you have any games we need to keep our eye on, or any ideas for an episode, or just to say hi.
Hello.
To get a little housekeeping done. We want to make a couple of announcements. Unfortunately, the Rolling with Bot D&D campaign is going to have to be put on hold for the moment due to some scheduling conflicts, which if you've ever played D&D, you know that's usually the hardest part of the game, is getting everybody scheduled to work right. With COVID getting somewhat better in parts of the world, there's a lot of places that are starting to open up, and including the UK, where our lovely Beardy and Llama are located in. And so here in the US, we still need to do a couple things. But we'll get to it. And so as the world opens up again, our schedules might be changing a bit, but we will do our absolute best to continue to bring you guys the absolute best gaming podcast that you didn't ask for, but we're going to do anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So, in that same tone, the Beardy News Roundup is going to be taking a slight break at the moment. And who knows, it may come back in the future, but for now, we're going to be covering the major news gaming things that pop up in the world in our normal podcast. So stay tuned for that, and we'll try to talk about that then.
Mostly in tangents.
Mm.
Just like normal things. We'll cover most stuff just in random tangents, so you'll have to stay tuned.
Yes. On the good news side, though, we do have a new episode we're going to be trying out called the Gamers Assemble Book Club, where we are going to be taking a game that we all play, and we're going to try it out. We'll see how we like it, and then we're going to come together and all talk about how we feel about it. Do we love it? Do we hate it? Do we wish we could uninstall it? So the first game up that we're going to be doing, and feel free to play along with us if you like, is Zombie Army 4 Dead War. I believe it is available both with the PlayStation Store and the Xbox Game Pass, I believe.
Yeah, so it's a free game on PlayStation Plus this month. So if you have PlayStation Plus, you get it for free. And if you have Game Pass, then you get it included in your library already. So something that's good for all people. Something everyone can play.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Perfect. So download it and then join us next week and tell us if you liked it, how you liked it, and then we'll all talk. It's like book club, but for fucking game nerds like us.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how it goes. It could be a fun thing.
I think it'll be fun. I mean, what's bad about a zombie army game? You know, should be fun.
I've never played one before, so I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Me too. I'll download it on Game Pass later today. I'm looking forward to it. So stay tuned to that, guys, and it'll be something fun for us to go over here in the near future. So to get us started on our favorite gaming sidekicks, and if anybody's watching, feel free to put your favorites in the chat so we can talk about it a little bit. But we will start off right away and get this ball rolling with Beardy.
Ooh.
Why don't you give us your first Beardy favorite sidekick for your games?
Right, so me first one, right? I bent the rules a little bit.
Rules don't apply to us, but
so the whole thing is about sidekicks and best friends in games and all the rest of it. And my first person that I've chosen isn't actually the sidekick. He's the main character. However,
that doesn't seem like our...
I know. It doesn't seem like it makes sense, but it's his relationship with a companion in the game that I feel clarifies into sidekick, best friend, good Judy kind of thing.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So the
Lay
main
it on the
character is
line
the
and
sidekick.
we'll judge.
Well, so it's a game
hold on,
I've been playing.
I haven't got my Judge rendered wig.
Yeah,
Fuck, where did I put it?
Get your gavel ready. So, I've been playing Days Gone, which is free on PlayStation Plus at the minute. It was part of the PlayStation collection. And the main character in that is a guy called Deacon St. John. So this is the person I've chosen because in this game, his friend gets attacked by these people called Rippers, who are these crazy post-apocalyptic psycho people that want to turn everybody into freakers, which are the zombie people. And they go around attacking people. And Deacon and his friend Boozer are bikers, so they've got all these biker tattoos and everything else. Now the Rippers don't like that, so they attack Deacon and Boozer. They pin Boozer down
because they don't like tattoos.
Well, because it's a sign of the old world, and they think that the old world is dead, and everybody needs to live in this new world where chaos rules and all the rest of it. Yeah. Right. So they take a blowtorch and burn his arm to get rid of all the tattoos, to burn his tattoos off, which leads to a little bit of sepsis, a little bit of blood poisoning, like all this other stuff. So Deacon goes out of his way to do everything to save his best friend. And he goes out and finds the medicines. He tries to get, remembers some things that his wife had told him about lavender being really good for helping like sepsis and blood poisoning and stuff. So he goes off to find that. Eventually, it doesn't work out. So he drives across the country, across the border to this place that's dangerous, this place where he's been kicked out before. They said, if you ever come back, we're going to kill you. So he brings his friend there to try and save him. His friend's arm gets cut off. So he goes out into the world to find all the items to be able to give him a prosthetic arm. And his friend obviously then goes into a depression, so he goes out hunting to find a puppy because he knows Boozer's a really big fan of dogs, and gets him a little puppy to kind of pull him out of his depression and put him back on the path. And I just thought that it was a really good relationship in terms of like best friend, sidekick, that kind of stuff of him. Because usually sidekicks and stuff do everything in their power to help the main character, but this guy is doing everything for his best friend. So, yeah.
Let it hold.
Yeah. So that was my slight side tangent. Because I was going to pick...
think that counts.
Yeah, I was going to pick Boozer, but I felt like it was the other way around. Like, Boozer is his best friend, but it's Deacon that's doing everything for him and trying to help him out and digging him out of this dark hole and making sure he moves forward in his life, which is normally what the sidekick would do to the main character.
Yeah. Interesting twist on it, but yeah, it makes sense. Cool. I have not played the Last of Us game, but I have definitely heard a lot about it.
Yeah. Well, this one's Days Gone, so it's coming to PC next month, I think. It's a PlayStation exclusive, but
okay.
But it's coming to PC next month. And it's basically a open world game, post-apocalyptic, something's happened, zombies have risen up, and you play as, it's pretty much The Walking Dead, but crossed with Sons of Anarchy. Like you're a biker character, you have a motorbike, you're kind of riding around the country or the open world and trying to get everything back to normal. And the mechanic in this game is a little bit like in World War Z, the hordes of zombies kind of coming at you. They have the same mechanic in this game, so they have these hordes of freakers that gather around and you have to take them down. It's like 500-600 of these zombie things running around, so if you're not clever with it, you die pretty quickly.
I'm sure I would die a lot. I think a motorcycle is the appropriate vehicle to have in a post-apocalyptic world. I think so. That's what I'd be looking for.
But you get a puppy.
Well, you don't get a puppy. You find a puppy for Boozer.
Oh wait, I find a puppy and I don't get the puppy.
No, you get it for your best friend because he's depressed because he lost his arm.
So not only do I not get a puppy, I find a puppy and I don't get the puppy. I get chased by hundreds of zombies as well. I don't like this game. Judge Render finds no.
Well,
that's a no from me.
Llama, what is your first pick for gaming sidekick?
Well, I also don't get a puppy in this game, but I do get a hamster or an aquarium. And of course,
Oh,
the
right, I know what you're
game
talking about.
is Mass Effect. And I struggled actually choosing a sidekick for this game because I fucking love them all. But of course, in the end, when it comes to favorite sidekick, not my favorite romance, we need to be clear on this one. Favorite sidekick, favorite friend for this one, it's gonna have to be Garrus Vicarian. He is, regardless of whether you play male shep or fem shep, Garrus Vicarian is just the gift that keeps on giving, right? Like his dialogue, his story, just the sort of funny comments that he makes, the elevator conversations. This guy is fucking hilarious. He's just the arc of the whole relationship. I love this guy. I love Garrus Vicarian. He is like the older brother that I always wanted. I love Vic. I love him. And then when you find, like, if you, I'm not even gonna say spoilers, because if you haven't played Mass Effect and you don't know these spoilers, that's your fault at this point. You need to go play the game. That is not on me. You need to go play the game. But when you find out he's Archangel and you're like, oh, it's my friend. It's okay. He's my friend from work. You know, like from Marvel. He's my friend from work. Like, it's fucking amazing. I love him. I love him. I love him. And every time you have a dialogue option with Garrus, go through every single tree. Don't come out of it until you've done every fucking option, because they put so much, you can tell they put so much effort into everything with this character. With every character, to be fair. Like, there are no sloppy characters, I think, in Mass Effect, but you can tell it with Garrus. The story writing is great in the games and in the books and in the comics. Like, just everything about Garrus is amazing. I love him.
It says something about the Mass Effect series that they really don't have any sloppy characters. You know,
they do not.
I mean, they really give everybody a nice personality. You know, Garrus has got that good dry humor. He's such a badass. You know, it doesn't matter if you are fem shep or male, shep, and you get a little bit different relationship with them depending on if you're going to romance him or not. Because I'm pretty sure you can romance him as fem shep. I'm pretty sure
you can. I have never romanced Garrus. I've never crossed that line with Garrus. So there is that part of the relationship that I've never explored with him.
Professional boundaries.
And I feel I have professional boundaries with Garrus. He's like my brother. And I feel like if I ever went there, it would slightly tarnish that part of our relationship, and I don't think I'd ever be able to go back, and it would ruin it a bit for me. So I've never romanced Garrus. Yeah, that'd be a little gross. Gross for me.
It's always like, Liara to Sony for me, so I always got to go
every time. Every time, me and Liara. I can't possibly. Can't possibly.
I always
Liara or
think
bust.
with the writing for the companions and stuff in Mass Effect is very reminiscent of like Star Wars, in the sense of every main character that you come into contact with has their own backstory and like things that you find out about them as the trilogy progresses, and it's the same thing with like the Star Wars writing, obviously companions and that. And they all have their own versions of what happened to them in the past and their connections, everything that's going on in them.
They're not just
and fully fleshed out, because you've got like all of there's a whole series of books, there's a whole series of graphic novels and everything, even when that take place like before and in between the games, and all of it is so intricately linked that it's amazing. I fucking love it. We all know Mass Effect has my heart, and Garrus is part of that, a big part of it. All hail Brother Garrus.
Roll on May 7th. I can't wait to play it all again in super duper 4K spectacular.
I still haven't had that talk with my wife.
It's on sale.
It is.
Well, I mean,
sale.
it's literally on. Like, you can buy it. It's on.
Is it sale though?
No, it's just
on sale. It's available.
Available to buy.
Yeah.
But like, you can argue the semantics with your wife about that after the fact.
Yeah.
True, I can be like, I bought it. It was on sale.
Yeah, you say to her, it's on sale from the 7th of May.
Done.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Garrus
What
is
have
a
you got, Bob?
fantastic pick. Me? Well, the first one I have is kind of one I've only gotten to play the game some. I always keep wanting to pick them back up, but Monster Hunter World and all the whole Monster Hunter series, you get these little palicos, these little cute
Little kitty cats.
little kitty cat companions. They wear their own little armor and stuff, and they are just the most adorable sidekick that you could have in the game. In fact, it gives a whole other.
Does Tiggs know about this?
That you can have little.
Yeah, I feel like.
I don't think he knows.
I feel like this would be right up his street. If he knew, he'd be straight onto Monster Hunter.
Slaying big
Hunter's
monsters,
scary.
little kitty sidekick. Yeah, that sounds like something he'd want. Yeah, no, it's they're a fun mechanic. You know, they're supposed to be kind of like your squire in the game. You know, as you're running around. They have a lot of different uses you can have with them. If I remember correctly from when I played last, there's different calicos can help you a little bit differently. So, or palicos, not calicos. I keep messing that up. But yeah, they're a great. Have either of you guys got to play any of the Monster Hunter series at all?
I played maybe 30 minutes of World. When I got my PS5, I downloaded it because it's part of the free PlayStation collection thing. So I downloaded it on there, and I got to the bit where you get to the flying ship thing, which is probably about 20-30 minutes into the game, and then I've not gone back to it. But I remember, I'm sure I saw an article or something. Can't you get these little pelico cat things to pee on things?
I'm pretty sure you can, and it's one of the funny, humorous moments of the game that you wouldn't expect right away.
Yeah, that you can like.
Does that mark them as yours? Like that's mine. I peed on it.
Yeah.
Something like cat's I've had.
Spray, spray my pissy, spray.
But yeah, I mean, it's the characters don't usually, the palicos don't really have a lot of like what I would call dialogue or anything like that, as far as I remember. But they are your just ever-present little companion. Do they talk?
I don't know.
I don't remember them talking. This is making me want to have to pick up the game again because it's a fun game. Oh, we have Research Beardy going here.
I'm looking.
Our techno mage, he's checking it out.
Now is like, I am Puss in Boots. Like,
well, that's what I'm thinking. I
just think.
Carry on the conversation. I'm having a little look.
Digital Monk says they have included dogs in the new one on the Switch.
Mm.
Can you pet them? Like, can I walk up to them and like pat their little heads? I'm like, good kitty.
That is one of the major complaints that people have had with the game Genshin Impact, is they put a bunch of cats and dogs that wander around the cities, but when you walk up to them, you can't pet them or anything. And that has been one of the major complaints of the gamers.
Do not put any cats. Don't put fucking animals in a game if I can't pet it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it. If I can't pet animals in real life, like, I know I'm not allowed to pet bears in real life, but in a fucking video game, I want to pet them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so apparently they do speak, but they speak their own language.
Okay.
Like Sims.
Does your character know the language, or they just talk amongst themselves in that language?
Well, I'm guessing the character couldn't understand, because the first thing that came up on my Google was like, when your pelico talks to you about the weapons. So I'm guessing
fantastic.
It's like
awesome.
A thing.
Makes him even cuter. Cool. Well, that has made me want to check out that Monster Hunter World again, because I remember those being super adorable and helpful, and I should check it back out again. So, Beardy, what is number 2 on your list?
Well, number 2 on my list is going to be another little post-apocalyptic. It's going to be Ellie from The Last of Us.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it's kind of spoiler alert, but at this time, if you've not played The Last of Us, then shame on you.
It's on you.
The first game specifically, because obviously the second game is her game, and she's the main character. But in the first game, you play as Joel. Joel comes across Ellie, who is infected, but isn't turning into the clickers. So the clickers are that world's version of zombies. They're affected by the cordyceps fungus, which is a real world thing, where fungus lays its spores or whatever it is into ants or insects, and then will take over their brain, make them go to like a secluded dark area, and then kills the thing after it's latched itself onto a tree or whatever it is, and then it will sprout its fungusness to infect more creatures and everything else. But in this universe, it's us. We're the people that get infected. But she's been bitten. She has the virus, but her immune system is suppressing it. She's not turning into a clicker. So she's been tasked to be. Joel gets tasked to take her from one side of the states to the other to the Fireflies headquarters so they can run tests and find out why she's immune and all the rest of it. And she's just such a well-written character in the first game, in the kind of street smart, no bullshit kind of kid who thinks she's like grown up enough to look after herself because she's lived in this world, she's dealt with this bullshit, she's lost these people around her, and she just kind of holds Joel to account for things and will just kind of be like, you know, you can't tell me what to do, you're not my dad, or all that kind of stuff. But like secretly she is getting that vibe from him. She's falling into that relationship with him, and she does see him as a father figure in the end. And she's just well written, well acted by Elliot Page now, but Ellen Page back in the day. And yeah, she's a great character, and I love her.
You know,
She's
I don't think I
spunky.
ever realized it was Elliot Page doing the voiceover for that character. Wow, I didn't realize that.
It's interesting. Kind of a meta game type thing. Do they have the character's name that before the voice actor or after?
Say that again, sorry.
No, I was just saying, was that like the similarity of the name Ellie? I was curious whether or not they had that character's name designed before picking the voice actor, or if it had been just a coincidence.
Oh, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you.
Well, I will say, as far as in reference to that, is don't look up that real world fungus. Otherwise, you will not sleep that night. Don't look that up on Google.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing, and that's some scary fucking shit.
It really is. Like it'll just settle you a little bit. Well, that's awesome, man. You guys' picks are so story driven.
Completely got that wrong.
Which thing?
Oh no, we don't do wrong. We'll just do a stand corrected corner next week. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're never wrong. Till next week.
Why did I think it was Elliot Page that did that?
Yeah, because isn't it Laura? Is it Laura Bailey? I thought.
No, it's Ashley Johnson.
Ashley Johnson. Yes, she's from Critical Role. I thought that was strange. Yep, Ashley Johnson. Wow. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Role. I mean, it would have been super cool if it was Elliot Page, but Ashley Johnson makes sense too.
There is just a gaming crossover right there. Well, we've got that cleared up, so no need for any corrections.
Oh, I like doing the I stand corrected corner though. I stand corrected.
I think it's because didn't he do the spooky game at the same sort of time?
Realize he'd done any games.
Carry on.
Okay, so
yeah,
moving
figure
on.
it out. If Elliot Page has done a game, I want in.
Yes. Well, Llama, how about you for your second pick?
Well, so again, this is clearly going to be a bit of a theme in my picks. My picks are, like many things in gaming when it comes to me, are all based on characters that I like and have fun with, and not based at all on DPS or help that they provide me in game. So my second pick is going to be Dorian Pavis from Dragon Age Inquisition.
Okay.
Because I also fucking love him. So we've talked a bit about Dorian in some other episodes that we've done. And I think we specifically talked about him around conversion therapy in one tangent that I went on. Because his character goes through a version of dark magic conversion therapy in this game, which thankfully didn't work because Dorian is delightfully gay and doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks about it in Dragon Age Inquisition. And he is known for his witty takedowns and also being a delightful badass. And I love him. I absolutely love him. He goes through the game. Again, he's another character that you befriend him sort of midpoint, I think, in the game. And it's another one of these games where you get your companions, and then you have to do loyalty missions to sort of rank them up to help you in the final mission. And if you don't rank them up, then you basically die and you fail. So it's on you to be nice to your friends and do their loyalty missions. And his loyalty mission is about it's about a lot of things, but one of the narratives in his loyalty mission is about him confronting his family and them not accepting his sexuality, and about them trying to convert him with dark magic into being straight and heteronormative. And it was a really powerful story, and it really drove it home. And I liked it for the fact that this was a AAA title. This was a mainstream game, and this was a story that you had to play in order to really stand a chance at defeating the archdemon at the end of the game. And so for a lot of people who maybe aren't as exposed to the LGBTQ plus world as us queeros are, because we fucking live it, for a lot of people, this might have been their first and maybe only exposure to that sort of storyline. And to see it through the eyes of somebody who's your friend, who you've sort of followed their story from the beginning, and who you should, if you've got a soul and empathy, who you should care about by this point, it should hit home a little bit for you. And it should engender a bit of empathy. I thought it was a really powerful story, and I really liked it. And of course, throughout the whole thing, he's really fucking hilarious. Like, he's, in the way that a lot of people do sort of fight back with humor and self-deprecation. It's a really great storyline. He's a brilliant character. And I would probably, much in the same way with Garrus, I would probably die for Dorian. I love him. In fact, I died a lot in that game trying to be like, don't you pick on Dorian, and then like do a quick save and go up and punch people in the face, and then like start a war and have to like go back and, okay, no, we can't kill everybody in this room, we need some of them, and then have to go back. But I loved Dorian Pavis. So yeah, Dorian is definitely on my list of one of my favorite all-time sidekicks. Absolutely 100% Dorian Pavis for the win.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, man, you guys pick such great story-driven characters, and
I know, but I couldn't tell you what any of his powers are, or like I don't even think he was all that great in battle. I just always picked him because I liked all the little comments and like witty banter in the background, like while I died a lot.
Just as a side note, I looked into it. The reason I got confused is because Ellie Page did do a video game, 2013. Was Beyond Two Souls.
I'm in.
And it came out the same year that Last of Us came out, and as Digital Monkey Cat, Naughty Dog actually got in trouble for Elliot's likeness. And
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Well, I've written that on my board, Beyond Two Souls. I'm gonna fucking find that game and play it.
I do believe it's on PC. It might even be on
Xbox. Beyond Two Souls.
Well,
so what have you got?
PlayStation and
I've got Windows. I'm on Windows. I can find it. It'll be fun.
And it's from 2013, so it should be easy to run too.
Good, because my computer needs all the help it can get.
Yeah. Well, so mine will be completely left field compared to your guys' wonderful, emphatic decisions.
Somebody's got to balance us out, bot.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to go with Tails from the Sonic series. Tails is awesome. He's the quintessential sidekick to Sonic. His name is Miles Powers, I think, actually, if I remember correctly, my gaming trivia. And for me, it was just the interesting thing about this particular sidekick was when I played these games as a kid on the Sega Genesis with like my sister and stuff like that, or neighbor kids, you could actually have somebody take control of Tails during the game, like while you were playing. And Tails was invincible. You could die a million times. He'd pop right back up. He'd fly in with his little helicopter tail and start helping Sonic again. And I'll tell you, when you're a guy who has a younger sister who wants to play games with her older brother, and she's like, I want to play too. Something like being able to hand her a controller and have her play Tails where she can't die, she can help me out, and she gets to feel like she's helping her big brother through the game. That was an amazing experience. You know, it was something that really stuck with me as I got older. And I've always liked the character of Tails. I always thought he was a good person to, I mean, because I watched a lot of the Sonic cartoons growing up also. And so those cartoons got a lot more of the, because I mean, Sega games didn't have all that much for story back then. And so the cartoons allowed that to kind of flesh out a little bit. And he was always a great supporting character to Sonic, where he didn't step on his toes, trying to held him back when he was going to do something stupid, but otherwise just let him go, and always tried to find a good solution for the problem. And so I love Tails. I think he was great. He should have had his own game. I mean, Knuckles got his own game, and he shouldn't have. I mean, Tails should definitely have had his own game.
I liked Tails. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different because it's like, not a lot of games can you just jump in with a family member and help out on the main game that you're playing. We're starting to see that a little bit more now, but the days of couch co-op has kind of been behind us, you know, with the advent of online playing and such. The amount of games you can sit on a couch with somebody and play, you know, with you is really limited to like party games, you know, like Mario Party and, games like that. So anything like this that you can just jump in with somebody and play is something I love. So it was a game that really kind of hit true with me over the years. So that was why I picked Tails.
Yeah, I think couch co-op's kind of turned into has turned into your fighting games. Or
Ollie wants to do a podcast too.
I know, always sulking. It's your racing games like Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing, or your cutesy fighters like Smash Brothers, all that kind of stuff. There isn't really those games anymore. Like you said, you could just drop in, and things like Sonic that don't really happen. Although I think it is starting to come back a little bit with who is the fucking guy who said like fuck the Oscars at Game Awards, like an indie developer. Anyway, so he did A Way Out and It Takes Two, which are both couch co-op games. So A Way Out is
Joseph Fares,
director
that's of
the
A Way
guy.
Out.
Yeah. So A Way Out is like a prison escape thing where you play as, I think they're brothers, working together to escape prison. And It Takes Two is a rom-com type game where you play a couple that's going to get
the spaceship.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a spaceship.
Is that the one where you're trying to drive the spaceship and you've both got to do different things?
Maybe it could be a level in there. I'm not sure. I've not played it. But you're a couple that's decided that they need to get a divorce, and their kid kind of creates this fantasy world, and it's those two get trapped in this fantasy world. They become like little sock puppet type people. And the whole game is them working through, every level is themed around an issue within their relationship. And there's like this guy that signifies as the marriage counselor, and it's kind of going through their problems and stuff, and you play as either the husband or the wife, couch co-op, and you're working together to fix your problems.
That's awesome. Okay. We need to bring back some more couch co-op games.
Yeah.
That needs to be something that I'm glad to see developers, some of them at least, still developing those kinds of games, because not everybody wants to be able to play online. You know, sometimes, especially for parents that have kids and stuff like that, it's nice to be able to have some couch co-op games.
And I think
absolutely, or like my wife. You know, I'm a big gamer, but my wife isn't. She wants to get on and play and like be involved, but she's. I gave her Halo once, and I found her in the corner spinning around in circles, staring at the ceiling. Like, she's not a huge gamer. She doesn't really get the controls, but she wants to help. So like having Tails, fly in, help, do some shit, feel like she's actually doing something. Great.
Can't
That's
die
what she
either.
wants. Yeah,
permanently.
I think
the game you were thinking of is Among Us. I think where you and a bunch of people are in the spaceship and you're trying to fly it around.
No, I know that game. It was something else. There's a couch co-op game, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's something. Two people are trying to fly a spaceship, and you've got to be in different parts of the ship. Like one person steering, one person doing the thrusters, and you've got to. It's weird. I'll think of it probably tomorrow.
No, I think couch co-op games are really important. Like I said, for partners that aren't particularly gaming orientated, for you to kind of share that experience.
It's not called Space Team, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Or Out of Space. Wow, there's a lot of space games. Okay.
Or for kids and their parents, like
Mm-hmm.
you know, so many games are online and multiplayer and everything else, and so many parents don't understand that world, like, and for them to be able to play a game with their kids, like, and get into it and things. Bring the families together.
Absolutely.
Anything that allows families to game together more is a good thing. It really helps bridge that gap between different generations and allows you to know what type of things your kids are playing. You know, parents that become completely disconnected from what their kids are playing might be surprised at what they're actually logging on to sometimes. So, well, that's awesome. So next up would be, I think it's Beardy, you again, isn't it?
It's a Beardy.
Yes, I think so.
Which is no indication whatsoever as to what my final pick is. Because I tried to dig deep in the bag of things, and I thought the obvious ones, like, because I knew we were doing it with you guys, I knew Mass Effect was going to come up, so I'm not going to touch Mass Effect, I'm not going to touch Dragon Age, like, they're digging.
I didn't do Fallout for a
No,
change.
You didn't do Fallout, no. So my final pick is Otakon from the Metal Gear Solid series.
I thought you might go for him.
Yeah.
I thought about him.
And he's such a good character, well-written character that, you know, he's there through every stage of the Metal Gear Solid series. You pick him up in Metal Gear Solid 1, he's this dorky, like, scientist guy that's scared of everything. I mean, you find him pissing himself in a locker, for God's sake, like. But by Metal Gear Solid 5, he's become this really strong character that's going to fight for what he believes in and help Snake as much as he can. Again, spoilers, if you've not played Metal Gear Solid 4 by now, well, it's too fucking late.
It's on you.
Yeah, at this point, Snake's dying because the nano probes that he got injected with back in the very first game, they're making him age, and, you know, he's going to die. And Otakon is hellbent on trying to find a cure for Snake because Snake saved his life in more ways than one. Saved him from Shadow Moses, but he also taught him to be a bit stronger and stand up for what he believes in, and, you know, be a better person. And he's dorky and funny.
He calls himself an anime otaku.
Yeah,
in the first one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, are you an anime otaku like me?
Yeah.
I remember thinking, are you a what?
Which is funny because that, like, otaku, like, I wouldn't even have known that word back when I was playing that game.
Mm.
Nowadays I do.
Yeah. And they fleshed his story out loads as well. In Metal Gear Solid 5, it turns out that his grandfather or his father worked with Big Boss, creating Outer Haven and their very first Metal Gear that was going to launch the nukes and everything else. And you know, his history is his family brought Metal Gear into the world, and he's trying to correct those mistakes and make it go away.
Redemption arcs are great, you know, and he's been a very, like, good reoccurring character throughout the Metal Gear series, and he reminds me kind of like almost like a Q from, like, the James Bond series, you know, where he's like your dorky tech support, or like Oracle from Batman comics and stuff like that. If you ever,
and he has some really good moments as well with Sniper Wolf. Like, he falls in love with Sniper Wolf and kind of gets his heart broken, and she. Who did? Yeah, exactly. And yeah, he's just got loads of little nuanced sections throughout every single game. I just love it. I think he's
Awesome.
my favorite.
Man, Beardy, you make me really want to pick up the Metal Gear series again. Like, it's I played the first like one or two of them, but that was back in like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 time periods. So it's been years. Well, I am excited to hear what Llama's third pick is, because you guys have just been having awesome picks. Lay it on me.
All right. So my last one, she's had a special place in my heart for a couple of years now. She's a fairly new addition to my heart. Because this game came out only a couple of years ago. And that is Parvati Holcomb from Outer Worlds. I fucking love her. And she gives me, and I'll tell you what it is that drew me to her. Well, to the game probably immediately, but to her specifically, is the intense Firefly vibes that I get from this game. I fucking love Firefly. That show ended before its time. Serenity sort of helped me get through a little bit, but fucking bring back Firefly, y'all.
It's supposed to happen.
Laws.
I heard about a revival from. I think Disney's going to be reviving and rebooting Firefly. Hopefully, hopefully not. Hopefully, sans Joss Whedon. We'll see.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
but the rest of them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's awesome. Pavarti's great. I loved playing her. I loved having her on my team. She was always on my team. It was usually him and the priest was usually who I had on mine. Because just their dialogue is great, and I love the whole romance of her and the ship captain. Spoilers.
Yeah, June Lee. Yeah, so I mean, Parvati, the first time, she's the first companion that you get because she's on the first planet where you crash land on, and when you first meet her, and she's so just sweet and innocent and wide-eyed and just wholesome. She's just fucking lovely. And you do, well, me anyway, my first thought was, I will protect you. I will protect you from everything. And she's just fucking, and she's got this giant hammer. And she's like, I leveled her up because I brought her on every fucking mission because I loved her. And she would hit everything and be like, smash, smash, smash. And she's amazing. And her dialogue is also great. And her voice actor, I think, was Ashley Birch, who did an amazing job with her. And she just, her story, another great story. So she's an engineer on this planet. I think I talked a bit, I think in the last episode, because I'm always fucking talking about this game because I love it. Obsidian, again, knocked it out of the park. So she's on this planet that's run by a corporation because, again, corporations run the universe at this point.
Spacer's choice.
Spacer's choice. There is no other choice but Spacer's choice.
Best choice.
Best choice. And so her dad has died from overworking, which is completely common, happens all the time. So she is now on her own, and she's an engineer, really good engineer, and she's sort of trying to find her way in the world. She's had a couple of romantic relationships in the past. They've never really stuck because she's asexual, which is the first time I have ever come across this in a video game, that any character has been asexual, openly asexual. And in fact, I was so taken aback by it that I paused the game and just fucking sat there for a few minutes and was like, shit, this is awesome. Like, just like, I've got ace friends, and I even called one of my friends and I was like, dude, I'm playing this game and this character, she's ace, and like I've never come across it before, and like there's ace representation, and like, and this is like a AAA video game and there's an ace girl, and oh my god. And she's like, all right, calm down. Just take a breath. It's okay. Breathe. And I was like, oh. And so this is the first game that had romance options. That I didn't take any of the romance options because I wanted to make Parvati feel comfortable. So I told her that I was Ace too. So I played the entire game as an Ace character because it was an option, and I thought I'll explore that. I'm not Ace in real life. My wife will tell you that. Hopefully. I mean, I don't want her to bring up. That would be awkward, wouldn't it? Be like, wife, come here. But
Tell
you know,
them the
it was
tales.
interesting. Tell the tales. It was interesting to be able to explore that in a video game, and that I've never been able to do that before. And it was only because of Parvati's story that I was able to do that. And I think that was a really huge thing. And then through Parvati's mission, you know, the level up mission, I forgot the word now. The companion mission where you make her like you even more. The loyalty mission, that's the word I was looking for. Through the loyalty mission, she falls in love with June Lee, the main engineer on the Breaker, the big ship in the middle of the star system. And June Lee, at first she's like, oh shit, is June Lee gonna like me? Because, you know, the whole no sex thing, that's not my thing. And you're like, okay, well, maybe. You're like, you're never gonna know unless you talk to her. Like, how are you gonna know? And it's, you know, you go through this whole thing and you're finding out what June Lee likes. Like, does she like these sweets? And how about, oh, let's get her a dress. And so you're going on all these missions to like pick up June Lee's favorite sweets and get a dress for Parvati and get Parvati all these ingredients to make June Lee's favorite meal. And then you can set them up on this really romantic date. And then they're like writing poems back and forth about greasy engine parts. And it's this whole thing. And it's fucking adorable. It is goddamn adorable. And in the middle of all of this, you know, carnage of blowing up animals and pulling bits out of them to collect, I can't remember what I was collecting out of their guts, and all of the things going on. Pardon me. And in the middle of all of that, organizing dates and trying to help two people find their way in a relationship on my ship, I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
It was wholesome and sweet, and I just goddamn loved it. And it was one of my favorite, all-time favorite relationships. And it wasn't even my fucking relationship in a game. And I have played this game, I don't know how many times now, over and over again, because of the relationships within this game, and half of them aren't even my fucking relationships, and I love it. So again, Obsidian, god damn it, you legends.
I think it's one of those things as well, like, you know, I think we spoke a little bit about it on the player sexual episode, and I think it's so nice to see an Ace character, and, you know, it not just be, oh, this person's Ace, the end, like a whole narrative built around that character and their sexuality and what that means for them and their relationships and everything else is beautiful to see, rather than it just being like a tick box exercise.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, was that it definitely is nice that they really explore it, and like not only do they just explore it, but they kind of, I don't know how to put it, for anybody who would be playing the game, if they pick those options for Parvati, because it seems like you can also kind of be a little creepo and kind of try to hit on Parvati a little bit, but if you go with the route of trying to help her with the June Lee date and everything, it actually, like, for someone who might not know much about Ace, like lifestyles, it really kind of fleshes it out. Like, it kind of explains it, like why she feels this way, how she feels this way. And so I like that, not only, just like how Beardy said, it's not just a line, it's just not like a tick box that's, you know, in their character profile or something like that. They really explore it, and anybody who doesn't know much about it's going to learn a lot about it in a really great way. And you get a lot of satisfaction when you're at the end of it. You know, you feel like you really did something to help somebody who is struggling in their love life to find somebody that really fits well for them. And it's a nice, like you said, in all the carnage that goes on with the Outer Worlds game, it's a great little point of happiness that you can feel like you did something good that didn't involve blowing up things or bringing down spatial colonies and corporations.
Fuck capitalism.
Yes, there you go. There it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, it's great because you, like you said, we know a lot, there's the LGBTQ plus umbrella. We know a lot about the sort of LGBT or LGB. We know a lot about. I wouldn't even say that actually. I'd say we know a lot about the lesbians and the gays. They seem to be that identity is more mainstream. But a lot of the rest of the identities that fit under that umbrella, not so mainstream, and a lot of people don't know about it. There's a lot of misconception about bisexuality, about trans, about non-binary, about gender fluid, definitely about asexuality. And so there's a lot of misunderstanding around that, and to see some of those identities and those sexualities that are not as well known to get that spotlight in a AAA game in the mainstream was really great. I really loved it, and to see it done so well in the character of Parvati, with that Firefly twist, with all of that, with Obsidian at the helm, chef's kiss, amazing.
I think that the thing that's most important about that is, like, it's a relief, I feel, that some ace person out there is going to play this game and not understand their own aceness and play and see Parvati and be like, wait, that's me? Like, this is how I feel, this is how I see things, and be able to relate to that and understand themselves a little better. Which I just think that for me is the best part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I really hope Obsidian and other developers, take that same route. I'm really hoping that when they designed that dialogue, they consulted with some people from the Ace community, and or had somebody that at least knew how to inform it correctly, because they certainly seem like they wrote it pretty well. I think my favorite part of that entire thing was when the game came out. I remember there was a small section of people who did not like Parvati very much, and the rest of the internet.
Did you not like her?
I know. The rest of the internet, though, was like the 80% of the rest of the internet was like, we will cut you. Like, Parvati is awesome.
Leave her alone.
We will come to your home. You.
Yeah, we will come for you. We know where you live. Like, she is awesome. Do not talk bad about our girl Parvati, or we will find you. So I thought that was a really wholesome thing, where the entire, not the entire internet community, but like a huge chunk of them, because people are usually pretty divided on characters, but it's nice to see a huge majority being like, no, this character we love. Let's protect her. Let's have fun.
We're gonna come for you.
So for my third one, which is again completely out in left field from these in-depth, heartfelt analysis of characters, is my last one I'm going to pick is any Pokemon from any game that's a Pokemon game, because you are the main character playing through the Pokemon games. You're the trainer. You're the one catching these little critters. And all of the Pokemon, whether it's your first one that you pick when you get your starter of the first 3, or the ones you find along the way, depending if you're like me, who doesn't usually keep the starter on the team for all that long. And yeah, I know, sacrilege. What? But yeah, I know. I'm a person who swaps them out like fairly soon. Like, I leave them in my box.
Oh no, that's it.
that was the cut line right there.
Yeah, that's it.
But the thing is that, like, you get to have these awesome sidekicks that you can pick who you want to be. And some of the older games, like Pokemon Yellow and some of them, you get to have them follow you around, which is really awesome. That was a feature a lot of people really enjoyed, is being able to have your like main Pokemon sidekick follow you around. And in the Pokemon Go game, for mobile and such, that's a big thing too, is being able to have your partner Pokemon. And so, I grew up on the Pokemon cartoons. I played the original Red and Blue when they came out. I love Pokemon. And the heartfelt stories of these little guys that, willingly / not willingly, depending on kind of what you're reading, come along with you and help you out with your quest and everything. And it's a good heartfelt story, Try to ignore the whole dog fighting, animal fighting aspect of it, and just focus on the, sweet story of a boy or a girl and their Pokemon. So I don't know. That was.
I always think with Pokemon, like, I 100% understand where you're coming from, but it's the starter for me. Like, that's the one, because I'm not a weirdo like you, and I keep my starter all the way through till we've done.
It depends on the game. Some of the starters are lame. Some of the generations, all the starters are lame.
Okay, yeah. That's true.
So some of them, you have them for a little while. It's like, I can only have a fire/firefighting type so many times in games, and it's like, I don't know. If you're going for like Bulbasaur or something, like that's great, but so many of the starters in the the later generations just didn't interest me as much. I don't know. I'm weird.
Yeah, you are. So it's that. It's that. I think it's that journey you take with that starter because they're the one that's always with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I
So
think
you're very much the like Ash Pikachu dynamic.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's always that one Pokemon that you come across that becomes your little mon, and you want to play with them through every generation and every team and all that kind of stuff. Like Pokemon's become.
I'd have given that Thunderstone to Pikachu, whether he liked it or not. I'd been just like, here you go. Just put it in his food. Be like, here you go. You're a Raichu now. You're a Raichu now. You're good to go. I need to beat the gym leader.
Yeah. Level the fuck up.
I mean, it depends. It depends on the game. Some of the games they catch the stories are like this massive save the world thing, and some of them aren't. And it really depends on the game, I feel, for it. But there's so many Pokemon games that you can pick any of them, and there's a specific special sidekick that you have with it. And I think it's great. I think it gives a lot of kids and now adults growing up that great experience of having somebody along for the journey and get to choose who you have along. So especially if you're playing a Nuzlocke version of Pokemon, those Pokemon you become very close to because they are gone if they faint. And so, yes. So that's my third choice. Yes, if you're playing a Nuzlocke, so Nuzlocke is a special set of rules that people will play a Pokemon game through. Okay, there's nothing in the game to do it. It's just something that they pick. So how it works is you have your starter Pokemon.
Playing survival mode.
Mm-hmm. And then, basically you have your starter Pokemon. Every area that you go into, you get the first Pokemon that you catch is your Pokemon on your team. Then you make your team based off of that. And you don't really get a choice to swap them in and out unless one of them dies. Then you can go get another one from the next area. But the thing is when yours dies, you're either supposed to delete it or put it into a box where you don't play with it for the rest of the game because it's supposed to have actually be gone now. So
okay. Yeah.
So when the
super hard.
Super hard mode. And it really is very emotional when you go through like hours and hours and hours of a game with that Meowth you got in the beginning, and all of a sudden he gets a crit and he's gone. You're like, no.
And you have to name every Pokemon as well.
Mm-hmm. The whole point is to have you feel closer to them, so that so it's even more painful when they pass. Yeah, why do we play it this sadistic?
I don't know. I'm actually doing a Nuzlocke on my own channel with Pokemon Sword.
How's that going?
It's good. I've not lost anybody yet. I've just done the first gym, which was Milo, the grass gym, and I've not lost any. I've got a full team of 6.
Good luck. Hope they stick through.
Do you name them like Fred?
Well, I name them after David. Certain things like okay.
Ollie's done. He's out.
Like I'm over this. I want to get down. So I tend to try and think of funny names based on what the character is or the Pokemon. So my starter for Sword was a Cinder. No, not a Cinder. Scorbunny. So I called him Roger Rabbit because he's a rabbit. Then I picked up a Spinderer, which is like a little spider thing. So I called it Spinderella. Then I got a Hoot Hoot, which is an owl, but it has red eyes, so I called it Pink Eye. Then I got a Galarian Slowpoke, which is yellow and pink, so I called it Drumstick, like the lolly.
Must be a kid thing.
I've got
they're like really sticky fucking things that'll pull your teeth out.
And then I got a
tastes good though, which is weird.
Yeah, really good. They're so tasty. I think,
but you'll have no teeth left.
Yeah, Pangoro, I think it's called. When I called him Kung Fu Panda. And then who else did I have?
Named them all after sex toys, then we could have gone after that Love Honey sponsorship again.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, so I tend to just name them randomly off the top of my head. What is the character and what's funny?
I just name them all after like British van drivers.
Dave, Bob.
Dave, Gary, Bob. But like their
Bill.
drinking names, like Gaza.
Mm.
Drinking names?
Yeah, no, so like they do this thing over here, and I've never seen it in any other country. Tangent alert, tangent alert.
Woo!
Woo! So like they take the first letter of their name, and then they just add fucking Aza at the end of it. So like my friend Karen will sometimes be called Kaza. No fucking idea why. That's
Really?
not short for anything. It's actually fucking longer. But sometimes she's Kaza. My friend Sharon sometimes is called Shaza.
Okay.
Gary, Gaza, like Dave, Daza, Gary, Gaza. Who the fuck knows why this is? It's like an Aza thing. Only in England. No idea why.
Aaron, Daza.
What happens if you've got like a Derek and a Dave? Are they just
They'll both be Dazas. Yeah,
Really?
they'll both be fucking Dazas. No why.
But it'll be Big Dazza and Little Dazza.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
and not necessarily in actual size order. They'll probably do it backwards just to fuck with you.
Cultural.
Luckily,
things
that doesn't
around the
work for me
world.
because my name's Paul and I can't be Plaza.
Yeah,
Plaza?
some names they
Plaza.
don't do it with.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now it's gonna make me think of different
like
names.
Tiggs would be Bazza.
Okay.
Yeah, because Tiz would be Tiggs would be Baza. But like
Mazza.
they wouldn't do it with your name, and they wouldn't do it with my real name. But they like some names they just don't do it with. Yeah, and if your name starts with a vowel, they wouldn't do it with it.
So it's completely arbitrary. Okay.
Oh,
It is completely fucking
That's not
arbitrary.
true because I had a friend called Aaron that we'd call Azza.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's
Eric
new to
would be
me.
kinda
I've never
hard.
seen it done with the vowel before. It's just I've never seen it done in any other country, and it blows my mind.
And if we want to call you an idiot, then sometimes we'd call you a wazza.
Really?
Yeah. Wazza.
What a wazza.
It's just the ice cream man's here.
Oh, fuck yeah, get me a
Are you
Solero.
serious? Is it really? Is there an ice cream truck?
Can you not hear him? He's just pulled up outside. I hope my wife gets me an ice cream.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I want a Solero.
Cornetto.
Just one cornetto.
Choco Taco.
Give it to me.
Llama, do you remember Choco Tacos?
No.
Oh, they're good. They're like ice cream tacos where they're like ice cream cone is the taco part, and they just put ice cream and a bunch of chocolate on it and get them from the ice cream trucks usually.
Oh, we have
I
that,
don't
but it's
remember having them.
I think they're called shells. Ice cream shells. They're not taco.
I don't remember having ice cream trucks in Mississippi. We had snow cone. Like we used to have we had snowballs, like snow cone places.
Yeah.
And we used to have this guy or this lady that would come round and like you could buy snow cones from her. But it wasn't like an ice cream truck that you'd buy it from. Like she drove a Corvette and like this is so fucking redneck, right? I lived in southern Mississippi, y'all, all right?
Okay.
Deep south. And she had this brown Corvette. And in her passenger seat was like a cooler with the shaved ice and the ice cream scoop. And she'd scoop it, and then she had these ketchup bottles with all the different colored syrups in it, and she'd squirt it in there. And then you'd give her like a quarter or whatever, and then she'd hand you like the little paper cup with the thing in it out the passenger window. And I don't even remember what her name was. She was the snowball lady.
That seems incredibly sticky to have in a Corvette.
And
I don't think it lasted long in Mississippi.
I'm pretty sure on her backseat she probably had heroin or something.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
See,
probably
snow cones and stuff like I might be wrong, and I might be completely speaking out of line for the whole of the UK here. But I've never seen snow cones here in the UK.
Look, if I have to represent all of Mississippi, you have to represent all of the UK right now.
I've never seen it. I've never seen anything like crushed ice with like a bit of flavoring on it. Like
even like festivals or anything like that, because that's usually where you'll find them a lot of the time.
What we
I don't think I've seen them over here.
Yeah, what we do have, which is big, is slushies.
Yeah, you
That's
can get
the thing.
slushies over here.
Slushies are good.
But I've never seen snow cones.
Mm.
Like, the idea to me is bizarre.
Do you remember, like, I mean, Bot, you might know this, I imagine, but we used to get, like, when I was a kid, we had the Snoopy snow cone machine.
I know what you're talking about.
You'd get the ice cubes in there, and then you'd, like, push down on the top, and you'd, like, rotate this thing, and you'd make your own, and it never fucking worked. Like, 3 hours worth of work to shave 3 ice cubes, and by the time you finished it, like, all the ice had fucking melted. And you got, like, this little thing. It never... Fuck Snoopy. His snow cone machine was shit.
You know, I watch a lot of these travel food videos on YouTube and such, and in a lot of like the warmer island countries like Malaysia and Singapore and that type of area, they don't have any dairy. Like they don't use dairy hardly at all. So shaved ice and then putting like cane sugar on the top of it is pretty much their like #1 main dessert. They'll put a little like coconut milk, some different kind of candy stuff on it. And so it's interesting because for them, that's all they have is shaved ice. That's basically what they use.
Well, I know we were talking about this before we went on air. I don't drink milk because I think it's fucking weird that we drink cow titty milk.
Moo.
Like to each their own. To each their own. Like I still eat cheese because I'm a masochist.
Cheese is
I can't
awesome.
stop.
Cheese is
but
great.
I think milk is weird.
Yeah, milk is
but
weird.
You do you. But yeah, a lot of places around the world are like are of the same opinion. Like milk's not a thing.
On a real random side tangent, I watched a
tangent of a tangent.
Yeah, we're on like a third level tangent now.
Now we're talking about milk and cheese. There was a video that I saw on Facebook where apparently you can make a ball of cheese with some milk and vinegar.
I live in...
that sounds terrible.
I'm in the Midwest. I have a million options for cheese. I don't need to be making my own. That's probably not going to turn out.
Apparently, it's 3-minute cheese. Yeah, you get a bowl.
That gives me less comfortability.
Separating milk into lumps.
You put a tea towel in, or a
cheesecloth.
Yeah, but because it's these like 5-minute hack things, it's just a tea towel. Then you fill the bowl with milk. And I love that, like TJ's. Lama's not listening to this. You put a bit of vinegar in, and you leave it for 3 minutes, and then you gather it up and twist it, and it turns into like a little mozzarella ball. Apparently.
No, I don't. Nope. No, you can put your headphones back on, Llama. You're good.
That's right. Digital Monk. We had Snowman one back in the 90s. I remember the Snowman one. We did have a thing where it's like a snowman. You push his head down, and then crushed ice would come out his mouth or belly, and then you put flavoring on it.
Vomited ice at you.
Well, now that we have gone all the way around the world in desserts and gaming sidekicks and such, I guess we should probably move on from our third level tangent here. So, to kind of finish up our episode a little bit, let's talk about what we've all been playing. Beardy, what you been playing?
Well, so I've been playing Days Gone. No surprise, I was playing it last week. Still playing it this week. So I broke through the wall with it. It's a game that I picked up a couple of times to play and never really got into it. Didn't quite get the story mechanics and everything else. And now I think I'm in like the third act of the game or something, and I'm really into it. Got it. I understand the mechanics. I understand the gameplay, what the loop is, all that kind of stuff. And I really got into Deacon's story and what's going on there. Hence why I picked it as my non-sidekick. So I'm playing some of that. Playing a bit of shiny hunting. Make some eggs, hatching them. Still not got my shiny Impidimp. The little fucker is evading me. And then tonight, once we've done this, I've had a little bath. I'm gonna play the Resident Evil Village demo. Come out this exclusive to play this weekend on PlayStation, or today in the UK. So we've got a 30-minute demo of that to go and play. So I'm quite excited.
That sounds like fun.
Did you see Resident Evil 4 is coming to Oculus?
Yeah.
VR? I know Resident Evil 4 is not your favorite, but in VR it might be kind of fun.
I have a friend of mine, Hecto, who enjoys his Quest, his Oculus. It's the Oculus Quest, right?
Yeah. Quest 2.
Yeah.
Quest 2.
Yeah. He really enjoys his, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get him to get Resident Evil 4 for it, because
he's in chat.
The only thing I will say is the little trailer that they played, because they did the Resident Evil showcase thing on Thursday. that I thought was pretty cool that they were showing like you flipping the knife and stuff and like catching it and the guns and all that. Like I thought that was pretty. I'll give it that.
That looks fun.
Sweet. Well, I hope that your shining hunting improves and you get the little imp Pokemon, which is funny that it's the one being elusive to you. Right? It's the little imp one, right? The
Yep.
fairy dark one.
Yeah, it's the one that goes into
the big
Grimmsnarl
thing. I remember. Yeah.
Grimmsnarl, yeah. So I want to get I just want a shiny Grimmsnarl and then I'm gonna G-max him. So big boy.
Nice. That should be good.
Big girl.
Llama. What are you llama playing today?
Well, it's been a busy week, so I haven't been playing an awful lot, but I did download what is the book club one? Zombie War 4? Zombie Army 4. So I downloaded Zombie Army 4. I'm really struggling to say that.
Just
Zombie Army 4.
Use your words.
Try to say Zombie Army 4 Dead War 3 times fast.
So I downloaded that for the book club episode next week, and I've been playing that, and that's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I keep mixing up the buttons, and I keep throwing grenades when I don't mean to be. So I keep like having to run away when I'm like, shit, grenade out, run away. I have gotten myself stuck. I'm in a giant arena with a fucking horde of goddamn Nazi zombies running at me, like hundreds of them. And some of them have like bombs stuck in their face. And so as they get close to me, they're exploding. And I don't like them. And as they get close, not only are they exploding, but they're like screaming. So as they get closer, they're like, and I hate it. It's a terrible noise. There's lots of them, and there's like hundreds of normal zombies also running at me. So I'm just panicking, throwing out grenades everywhere, shooting and dying a lot.
So your noise gate cut off whatever noise that you were making. All I got out of that was that was it.
Good. It's a terrible noise. I will describe it to you as horrifically scary, Doppler effect screaming that comes at you and then explodes. That's what happens.
It sounds like the worst game of fetch ever.
Yeah, I don't like it. I've died like 17 times in the same level, and I'm annoyed. So if we get to book club and I'm still at this level, this is what my report is going to be.
Well, we will find out. I'm going to have to download that too and give it a shot so we can all give our opinions on it. So it's an arena level is where you get stuck?
Well, that's where I'm stuck at the moment. Up until this point, I've really enjoyed it. The mechanics have been quite interesting and quite varied. Lots of like cool little tricks you got to do to get past stuff. But yeah, now I'm stuck and panicky and shit's blowing up and screaming in my face and running at me, and I don't like it. Goddamn Nazis.
I don't like it.
Well,
yeah. I mean, the good part is that this game takes place after Schindler's dead, so we're just like mopping up the leftover zombies. I guess he must have died in like World War Game 3 or 2 or whatever. I don't know. We're on Game 4, so I guess he's died in the other ones.
Cleanup crew.
Yeah.
Well,
characters
awesome.
are cool though.
That's cool. I look forward to trying it out.
What about you?
Well, for me, I still play a lot of Genshin because I'm addicted to the game, and I'm at like adventure rank 55, and I'm at the point now where I get to fight all the like super end bosses at like the hardest level, and it's just fun. It's one of those things that I enjoy, just sitting down and just grinding it out a little bit. The storyline's really cool, and they have a like multi-year plan already set out for how they're going to keep doing the game. So I'm looking forward to see how it keeps evolving, and it's free. So I don't ever feel about like if I just want to put it down for a month or so, I can. And if I don't, I just pick it up. Otherwise, I have been playing Outriders. I downloaded it. I went with a Trickster build, and I'm enjoying it. I'm just going through the single player. I'm kind of wary about doing the multiplayer because I've heard there have been some nasty bugs with the game as far as inventory problems when you're joining like a multiplayer game. But it doesn't seem to be everybody, so I don't know. I'm wondering if I should take my chances on
I'm pretty
that.
sure they've patched that out now.
They did? Okay, because this was like 2-3 days ago. It was still all over the Reddit forum for it. Is like, I can't even play because I don't know if all my stuff's going to get deleted. You know?
Yeah, they've patched it so it's not going to happen to anybody else. However, they haven't been able to fix the people that it was affected. So if your inventory got wiped, they've not been able to get it back to people as of yet.
Yeah, because it was saving over it was part of the problem, and so I don't know if they even have like a backup of it. But do you know if they re-enabled the crossplay? Because I thought they turned that off for a while too.
I think they might have got the PC crossplay back up and running. I know the consoles were playing fine together, but there was an issue between PC and everybody else. I think they've got that fixed now. I'm really wanting to play it, but like I said last episode, I just don't want to put up with the loading times. I'm gonna wait until I'm buying it on my 5.
Yeah, I'm just playing it on a regular Xbox. I don't know, not one of the new ones, but the generation right before. But
he won't play with us because we fuck up his loading times.
You know, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm looking forward to actually playing it a little bit more today. But one thing I thought was interesting was that it is not available on the PC version of the Game Pass. Because like I wanted to go and play it. You can download it with PC and you can pay for it. But the Game Pass, the Microsoft Xbox games on PC, part of the Game Pass, it doesn't have it as an option. So you can only play it either through the normal Game Pass and the Xbox, or you have to download the game separately, which I would have really enjoyed being able to use my Game Pass subscription to play it on the PC. So I don't know why they didn't do it that way. It seems kind of silly if they're already giving it out for the Xbox Game Pass and it's Microsoft, but whatever. So
I think on that side of things, like they seem to have a little bit of an issue with like PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass, where they have titles on one, but that are available on the other, but for some reason don't come through on the other version. So I'm not too sure what that's all about.
No. Well, other than that, I'm playing just some Magic the Gathering. There's a new set coming out for anybody who pays attention to the card game for it. It's called Strixhaven. And nowadays you can play any of these different sets on Magic the Gathering Arena. So if video games is more your flavor, since we are the gaming podcast, so we try to touch on a couple different things, different avenues of games. Definitely check it out. It's a really cool set. Some of the best art I've seen in a while. So that's another thing that I've been kind of playing a little bit. But that's pretty much about it, because otherwise life is busy as hell, and it is hard to be an adult finding some time to play some video games. So I hope everybody out there listening to us gets some time to step away from their stressful work days and such and play a little bit and try to forget about things. And so I think the rest of us are going to enjoy that for the rest of the evening, I think.
Pro tip, always find time to play with yourself.
Yes.
Very important stress relief. Play with yourself.
Yes, enjoy the single player aspect of it. But
we're in a pandemic, no multiplayer.
Yes, no multiplayer.
6 feet apart.
Yeah.
Comes if you play multiplayer, you can get a virus. But I think that we are nearing the end of our lovely podcast talking about video game sidekicks and all the people that help support our characters through the games that we love. I don't think we have much else. Do we have any reader mail?
No reader mail. Just a few.
No reader mail.
Few offers from Love Honey, like.
Oh
yeah.
We gotta get a sponsorship for them. I'll hold up the products. I mean, we should really push to see how far we can go before Twitch kicks us off.
Yeah, I think holding up the products might be a slight issue.
I can just hold them next to the microphone so you can hear them.
Yeah, there you go.
Like an ASMR.
Let us know if we should start rebroadcasting on Pornhub instead. No.
Can OBS just connect to Pornhub as well? Can we just link it in?
I mean, probably. I don't know.
I'd have to check that.
I don't know. Sex positive and all that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to worry about censorship as much there, or probably not sound issues too for like copyright things. I bet you they're not gonna knock people's videos out for that.
Oh,
Of
I
course, we
don't
should
know.
just
I'm
use
pretty
80s
sure
like
there's
porn.
plenty of porn directors out there sending out DMC strikes for their pow chicka wow wow music. Like,
I should all be public access at this
yeah.
point. Public access. Well, thank you all for joining us. It's been a lovely time talking about all of this. I have the awesome Beardy Gamer and the awesome Llama over here that have been my co-hosts for this episode. I could not be happier to have them for these conversations. You can find us on our various Twitter handles at Beardy Gamer and at @llama, and I am, of course, at Batuist. We are happy to engage anybody that wants to talk to us about games online. So until the next time, I think we're pretty good to go, right, guys?
Bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.